is Karina Costello, and I will be discussing the impact of texting and messaging. So in this page, I have my abstract, which talks about how texting and messaging has become the preferred way of communication in today's world. More advanced devices are being released, which means that more applications are also being released. This does play a huge impact on the impact and the culture that we all live in today. So as I scroll up, I will be going to number 1, which is purpose. So in this one, I'll be indicating the name of an innovation and providing a clear description of its intended purpose, such as the problem that the innovation solved, the opportunity that the innovation created, or the discovery that the innovation made possible. So my project does discuss the impact of texting and messaging. So Techipedia describes texting as a creation and transmission of short electronic text messages between 2 or more mobile devices over a network. So texting uses SMS, which is the body of the text, which can contain characters in the alphabet, and MMS, which is multimedia messaging service, which can be images or GIFs that you want to send. So many opportunities were created because of messaging. You can make it faster. You can reach someone at any time of the day, which is awesome. You can contact multiple people, and you can answer at your convenience. You can also have written proof of someone saying something. So in this image, there is somebody who just received a message in this image, which is impacts. So I will be explaining a benefit and a harmful effect of the innovation. So one benefit of texting and messaging is that it provides people with the opportunity to contact someone through means of simply typing something out and instantly sending it to them. So on average, it takes 90 minutes for an average person to respond to an email, but it takes 90 seconds for the average person to respond to a text message. So you are able to contact many people. Say you are in a train, crowded train, you can't really talk to people, or you're on a bus, or just with many people. You can simply just send a text message to somebody. Typing out an email can be timely, and people do not answer as quickly as they will to a message on their phone, which is great. So in this image, I did get a graph, which is the average text message length. So the older the ages are, more lengthy the text messages are, which can be described as them wanting to send a more thought out message, or if they need to email them but they can't access email at the moment, they will just send a text message. So going on, explaining the impact that the innovation has had on society, economy, and or culture. So texting has had an overwhelming impact on society. It has drastically impacted the way we all communicate in today's culture. So the average person does not use phones anymore. Not everybody has a household, which is absolutely crazy to me. So, going on, the number of text messages sent monthly in the US exploded from 14 billion in 2000 to 188 billion in 2010. So, I did conduct research, and I did do a survey asking over 20 people about how much impact that texting and messaging has had on their life. So, I did ask them for a short response too, and many people responded with things such as, we don't talk as much, we are obsessed, and we use less emotions, which all range true. So, in this graph, you could tell that almost 75% of people did answer 5, which means that texting message did have a huge impact on their lives. So going on, I did take a video of my father who talks about the impacts of texting and messaging. How has texting and messaging impacted your life? If you want to contact someone, message them or call them first. If you call and they don't answer, do you expect them to answer your messages? Do you see any problems with texting somebody? So the end of this video is just my mom sending messages to some clients. She does work for Human Resources, which is great because she does use text messaging a lot often. So going on, for D, indicate one field other than computer science which this innovation has impacted or has the potential to impact. Describe the impact. So the field I chose is public relations. So as we all know, public relations does play a huge part in companies, and it is a non-stop growing field which only gets bigger and bigger by the minute. So since they have access to texting and messaging, they have access to contact more people and have more direct contact with them. So being able to contact people can help with many crises and major events. So I did talk about how in the United Way text campaign, it raised less in 2010 compared to the Text Haiti campaign, which raised about $32 million. So the PR field can impact the way that things are raised for crises and major events, because the power of text messages can draw many responses as opposed to using Facebook or mailing things or just putting up posters. So going on number 3, this is the technical aspects. E, describe how a user interacts with the innovation. So users interacting with text messaging. You have a phone. You can have a phone, a tablet, or a laptop, which is cool. So if you have a tablet or a laptop, you can use Wi-Fi to send text messages over. So within your device, there are different services, AT&T, Verizon, which are just some of the phone services, or you can use Wi-Fi. Each phone has a different layout with text messaging. So normally text messages are 200 characters, but if you use a different language, it can be as most as 75 characters, which is great. So having different languages on the keyboard is amazing because you can access or get into contact with somebody who doesn't necessarily speak English, but they know Spanish or they know French, which is awesome. And you can send emoticons, which are pictures of a face, and you can type it out. So in F, describe in detail how the innovation's technology incorporates at least one of the big ideas of abstraction, algorithm, programming, or the internet to accomplish its purpose. So the abstract that I chose was the internet. So, like I said above, you can use the internet to send people text messages, which are really cool. So you can use internet clients, with one of them being Yahoo Mail via chat. So pretty much you enter the phone number and send the message. It could be as easy as that. You just have to have Wi-Fi and an email account. And you could do that through Google too. So Apple and Android phones are able to sync your messages with your smartphone and your computer. Apple's iOS is amazing. Also, Android phones have something called Pushbullet and Mighty Text, which are web interfaces. So you don't necessarily need an iOS computer to do that. You can use any web computer that has access to the internet just by downloading the interface and typing the message in. So continuing on to number 4, relationship to data. G, describe how the innovation consumes data, produces data, and or transforms data. So text messages are primarily a producer of data. By sending a text message through SMS, you're consuming data through your cellular network. So cellular networks, you can have unlimited data, or you can have restrictions, 30 gigs, 50 gigs, whatever you do buy within your cellular data. So you are also able to archive your messages, which a lot of people don't know. So if you do happen to sell or donate your phone, make sure you delete your text messages or they will be on your phone archived. Also, within the cell phone towers, the cell phone providers are able to keep your records for up to 5 to 7 years. So that means you can also receive somebody's metadata, which is pretty cool. You can access someone's IP and the place that the text messages were sent or what cell phone tower they were sent to. So in H, describe at least one data storage concern, data privacy concern, or data security concern related to the innovation. So there is really no doubt that text messages can raise a security concern within everyday people. Sending text messages are timely and easy, but it is not secure enough for long-term use. When you send an SMS message, it is saved on your phone and the recipient's phone. In a case, somebody can intercept the transit when the message is being sent from one phone to another. Also, as I said above, text messages are saved for months and years if you don't delete them. So sending a message over SMS can be risky and both efficient. So there's also something called spam messages, as I put a picture in here. So spam messages are sent by numbers all around the world, sent to hundreds of millions of people. So they can try to hack you, and if you click on a link, it can put malware on your computer. So they can ask for a credit card, social security number, home address, money. So you really should not be doing that. Continuing on to references, I just have a picture of all the references they use. So adding on to my reference link, I would say that the most useful link that I had come across would be this one. And it has a bunch of information about text messages, analyzing, and issues with SMS. So to create my banner and my background image, I did use Pixlr. I also used Pixlr to create my GIF, which has a picture of texting messaging, my logo, and a picture of myself. So I did notice the main difference between HTML and CSS. So within Google Sites, it does do it for you, but there is an edit page which you can edit the HTML, which I did do a couple things, which is awesome. So I do prefer Google Sites, but having access to HTML, which is great too. So for more information on the impact of texting and messaging, visit my website, which is down below. Thank you.